Alrighty, so lesson 5. Getting into the nuts and bolts and the divisions of your content. Okay, so what is the long-term journey? What do they do over the long haul? What is going to be your year 1? What are you going to do in year 1, right? What are you going to do in year 2? What are you going to do in year 3? And then how are you going to relate those back? Like, what does your program look like your first year of application? What does your program look like the second year of application? What's it going to look like in your third year of application as you go back through and you refine your messaging and as you go through this? By the time I've shot this video, I've been working on these group of lessons for 3 years. I've tested them in businesses, I've tested them with teaching occultists, I've tested them in teaching my staff, I've tested them in all sorts of different ways so that I know that building these lessons is solid ground. So that there is no difference by the third year of my application of being able to, with confidence, say, I know this shit works. What can you do that you have done over and over and over again over a 3-year process? What does the second year process look like? Well, my second year process is what I just came out of, and that was getting more confidence, getting the ability to go on camera, learning how to write a funnel, learning how to write a challenge, learning how to write a course in the bigger picture when it comes to Dean and Tony. So as their application and the reteaching of my frameworks to get through and just get the more personal human touch behind it, because I was very, very rigid and mechanical. It was all very structured. This is all very by the book. This is all ethics and mechanics, and I want it to be this. I lost that human touch. I lost that quality that allows me to say, hey, look, this is a thing that I'm doing. This is why it works. This is why it's important that you learn and apply these things, because very simple steps become very profound actions. So what you can go through in rapid fire 10, 7 or 8 minutes will allow you to structure your courses, which can make you hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, depending on how you structure them in alignment. So you don't have to go through lesson 1 and lesson 13. You can go lesson 1, lesson 13, lesson 2, lesson 5, whatever your pattern of operation is, whichever is going to demonstrate your concept best. This is a framework that allows you to do that so that you can structure your actual application of it in this way. So you've got, in this case, I use a tier system. What is your tier 1? What is your tier 2? What is your tier 3? Tier 1 is always learning. Tier 2 is always selling. Tier 3 is always teaching, right? What did you take in the time of your process to learn it? What are you selling? And what are you going to go back to and teach? Lessons that you learned, failures that you had, the application of your thing moving forward so that you have those structures to help people in their way. So that way they get the material, because it's better to have material that works and is working than to have a book sitting on a shelf. Like, I would rather you know all of the things that are in these books, and I don't care how long it takes for you to know that, we'll go through the journey, right? But the application of those things in that journey, on that process, is what's going to be the long-term vision. What does your long-term vision look like? Who in the marketplace is doing that thing that you want to do and that can steward this information and the delivery of that information in the way, in those seasons where you're not able to do it? What communities do you want to reach where you're not at? Get that information into those people's hands so they can uplift and build those communities where you will never be. And then you collaborate with them. You find a reason to go back and collaborate with them, to help them improve, to improve by what they're saying, to learn the lessons from them and then apply them back, right? So it's about humility. It's about confidence in knowing what you do is so awesome because you've been doing it for so long that you can then go and learn other methods of doing it, and then you can start improving. Then you can start that journey of improvisation. Like, I'm going to try this in a different way here. I'm going to try this in a different way there. Right? So what does your division of material look like? And what does it look like in the long term? How many years have you been teaching it? What is your longevity with this? This is not about, oh, I'm just new to doing this. This is about, I'm just new to delivering it in this way. How I've delivered it in the past was in chat rooms, was in private Facebook messages, was in email content, was in challenges, was in digital courses that I'm creating, right? Like, there's an entire division of my process which I can help somebody structure over the various years of their interaction, so that way what they're doing gets really in depth and gets very intricate in detail. so that as they go to apply it, they know in the first year, hey, look, I might only be in chat rooms where I'm blowing up somebody's direct messages, going through, this is what I'm doing, this is what you can do, this is the feedback, and then you take screenshots of that thing, demonstrating that you've done it. Save those screenshots, save your information, put that information into a manuscript, publish the manuscript. It's like a really quick way to compress time. That's how you write a book really quickly. Like, what have you done? Who have you talked to? What results did they get as a result of you doing that? Then you have social proof, then you have material, then you have content that's credible, and then you can go back and you can sell it to different people to help them on their journey. Or you can sell it back to those people and say, hey, look, this is the thing that was done. These are the other things that I was doing at the time. I hope that you benefit. If you want to, you can join me further. Right? Once they're joining you further, that'll be your homework assignment. What is the written example? What does the project look like when it's in completion? How do you get them to complete that project? How do you get them to complete those experiences of interaction? What is it going to look like in the interim when you're applying the division of material to your lessons? Right? So, in this case, what written examples can you give? I just gave how to create a written example. Project completion, the creation of the book. Experiences of interaction. What did I just say? I said go back through and email the people that you know you've helped or that you can help with this material, saying, hey, look, I've been doing this for X amount of years. I've been helping this amount of people with it. It works out gangbusters in these applications. Do you want to try it? Because I think it can help. You want to serve them, not by being a flashy showman. You want to serve them with valuable content that you know is legitimate, that's credible, that's been tested, industry tested, by people that are not yourself, by people that are not your friends, by people that have no skin in the game other than they want to make the impact that you do with your thing. And that's where it comes into moving again beyond the bricks and mortar and moving beyond the widgets and wares. It's about the relationship between the longevity of what this looks like over the long haul. What does your thing look like in the bigger picture? And how do you demonstrate that over the bigger picture, like I've done in this lesson? So it doesn't have to be long and long-winded. It can be really rapid fire, and then we can take time to flesh it out. And the more time we take to flesh it out, that becomes a deeper course. That becomes not a mini course, that becomes a training event. That becomes the mentorship application. So if you've got questions in relation to what your specific things are and how to structure it or how to apply it, that's when we get into those deeper conversations. That's when not only do you have the material in front of you, but you have the relationship that's outside of that material. What are they going to go through when they go through the division of material? What are you going to go through every night in your first year? Are you going to stay up awake at night because you're afraid of the material that you're working with, or you don't have the confidence to do it, right? That's why Dean and Tony put a mindset course very front and center, is that getting through the mindset of, yes, this shit actually works, and then going into the structures of how to break it down to make sure that it works, right? That's how to apply this stuff in a better way so that your people have more success with what you have to offer. And it's all about getting them the most success so that they can apply your lessons over the long term, and you're not just a fly-by-night operation. It's not just the widget that's going to end up in the dumpster. It's going to be the widget that might end up in the recycling bin, but because there's another version of it coming out, they want to get that version of it too, so that they're going to be more apt to follow along on the greater journey so that the entire ecosystem gets to develop. And this is how you create legacy, by creating versions of your ecosystem that improve along the way so that as you get better, it gets better, and everybody gets better as a result. So everybody gets uplifted. So think about your lessons in that kind of structure, and you're going to have a lot more success with what you teach and how. So join me for the next lesson, and I will see you there.